So is this a series finale or a season finale? I think it's season. Somebody told me season, but it's kind of weird because is the next season technically Captain America 4? I don't know. Who knows? All I know is as soon as Friday when this episode premiered, they immediately greenlit Captain America 4 because, Marvel Studios has their shit together. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here. All right, let's finally get into my review of the season finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh, should we say Captain America and the Winter Soldier? I'm not going to give away. I'm not going to really give away too many spoilers, but there's not really much to give away when it comes to spoilers and when it comes to my review, because pretty much, the big spoiler was the costume reveal of Falcon Captain America, which, we knew that was probably eventually coming, and it was teased with the last episode. And when it comes to the season finale, when it comes to this entire show, that's what this review is kind of going to be about, was like the entire show as a whole. It was only 6 episodes, which I think was a good amount. At first I was going, do they need more? And I'm like, no, maybe they didn't. Some storylines maybe need a lot more, but I don't think this one really did. And I thought, as a series as a whole, it's a series that I thought was, it worked. I wasn't looking forward to it, and I was pleasantly surprised on how much I enjoyed it. I've talked to people who were looking forward to it and hated it, and there's a lot of people that did hate it. I know there's a chunk of people out there that just went, oh, it's woke, oh, it sucks, there's too much this, too much that. And I can, I try to look at that and I go, is it woke? Is it? Yeah, there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of stuff in there, which I could see where you kind of go, okay, interesting. And there's stuff that you can like question, and you're going, okay. But it's nothing too much for me, at least, where I was going, turn it off. I'm just gonna unsubscribe to Disney Plus. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I wasn't gonna do that, but you guys have heard my little gripes over time, because, it is still the MCU, and sometimes there's just some unneeded jokes just placed in with the action when serious shit's happening, and all of a sudden it's just, they have to like crack on each other. But I thought overall with the series, when it came to Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie, I thought they actually had really good chemistry, which we actually kind of knew that. We saw that in the previous movies, and I thought they did it. I actually was digging more of the Winter Soldier backstory, just what he was dealing with. The only problem I had about the season finale was the fact that they kind of just blew through it at the end, because, he had this list of the people that he killed, and he was just trying to be, I need to apologize. It was like when an alcoholic has to go around and apologize to people for their wrongdoing. It was just similar to that. That was the whole therapy thing. And, so they kind of there was one, of course, that he killed, that he had to approach the father of that person to tell him, he struggled with that, to do that. And then finally, and it's just kind of they just powered right through it. There was like this whole thing that they established, this whole backstory, this whole story that they were establishing with Bucky, that they kind of left. And then they did all this stuff. And then they go back to it and just blew right through it. Just kind of blew right through it. I was disappointed about that. I definitely was disappointed about that. And then I wasn't too interested in, when it came to Sam, seemed like what they were doing with it wasn't as interesting with the whole family and the boat thing. And it was a little weird too, because they couldn't get money. He's literally an Avenger. I think a lot of people were questioning that. And then of course you had Mr. Walker, who's a new Captain America. And then of course who he becomes, he kind of has some redemption when it comes to this episode, which was kind of cool to see. And then you see what he ends up turning into, which was cool, which was fine. But of course, the big thing was the Falcon Captain America, which I'll bring it up right here, which will bring up the an image that I just searched for right now, and got it. Which, it looks good. It does look good, because they took heavily from the Age of Ultron. If you see like the lines around the torso, that is very Age of Ultron inspired Captain America, because let's face it, the first Avengers, even though the first Avengers is still I would say it's up there when it comes to, I mean, the first team up movie that we ever got was Avengers, even though the director, he still pulled it off. But let's face it, that Captain America costume was a little, but I think they were going for that. They wanted it to be a little more old fashioned. But then they upgraded it with the future movies. I think my favorite one is actually the Winter Soldier one, but you could kind of tell they utilized that kind of design with it. And no, it looks good. Even the headgear, you kind of wondered what the headgear was going to look like. I mean, it could be fairly cheesy, but it works. It works. So good for Sam, even though I was always like, Bucky should be the next one, but it's fine. I know they relied heavily on the whole, it's a black man becoming Captain America. It's not a blonde hair, blue eyed devil, which everybody hates now. But it still worked. And, I thought it was kind of cool when it came to him utilizing all that, because it seemed like the wings were, there's crazier. And then of course, using the shield and everything for the action, I thought was done well. They brought back St. Pierre, because he was in the beginning, and then he brought him back. They had a nice little fight scene. And, it was just kind of wrapping up the whole thing with this group. I'm totally blanking on what the group is called, but of course they want one country, one people, no borders and everything, but they're killing people. And, the people are leading have the super serum running through their veins. So it's kind of hard to stop them. But overall it was, I was a little anticlimactic. I'm not gonna lie. I thought is there gonna be something that's just gonna be kind of? Are they gonna? Luckily, they didn't do what WandaVision did and kind of built up this big cameo of somebody. That was kind of, I think it was Paul Bettany's fault a little bit for just kind of making it a joke, like, oh yeah, there's this big cameo of somebody I've always wanted to work with, and he was just joking, and he meant me, and he kind of fucked that up for a lot of people. And then, of course, the Ralph Boner thing really fucked it up. I mean, that's what kind of took me. That's where I was just so disappointed in WandaVision, because it was so good leading up to that whole thing. And then you bring in a character that's supposed to be in this world, but there was another character from another world. You bring in that actor, and there were so many possibilities, and it was like, oh, we're finally going to get that Fox and Marvel Studios crossover with mutants. Oh my God, Ralph Boner. So this time they didn't really have that, which makes sense because this was supposed to come out before WandaVision. But there's some interesting things that I don't understand when it comes to Sharon Carter. I thought she was snapped, whatever the hell you want to call it. I thought she was on one of the screens, but in this, it makes it seem like either she was really quick to just get on shit and be in this underworld kind of thing, and just leading to where she leads to, or they just kind of retcon that and said maybe nobody will notice that. No, she wasn't blipped. No, she wasn't blipped. No, she was hiding. Okay, then again, maybe she was. Who knows? Maybe when all it happened, she just went into hiding. So then when they were trying to figure out who exactly got, snapped away, they just figured it was her. So maybe that was part of it. I don't know. It was just kind of weird how she's very much connected and very much did a lot of work when this was supposed to be, 6 months? I don't know what the time period exactly, but it was supposed to be shortly after people returning. So interesting. But overall, like I said, I enjoyed it probably because I had low expectations. The people that had high expectations, I could see maybe why they were like, eh. But overall, I enjoyed it for the most part. Like I said, I like the chemistry. I like the backstory for Winter Soldier more. Sam, cool. Love the costume. Dig it. I will definitely be watching Captain America 4. It's going to be interesting because are they going to do Captain America? Because are they going to do Captain America and the Winter Soldier next season after a Captain America? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But like I said, seems like they have their shit together. Unlike, sadly, right? I decided to wear my Fat Bat shirt that I got. It just got sent to me today, so it's got that itchiness to it. So, but if you guys want it to, it's an awesome shirt. I'll post it down below. Anyways, guys, that's it. Let me know your thoughts about it down below. What did you think about the whole series, and what did you think about the season finale? Hit that like thumbs up. hit that notification bell so you know when I'm doing stuff. If you want to join Film Chunky, join. Helps out the pirate ship, and I try to do some behind-the-scenes videos for you, members-only videos. And then, of course, there's the Patreon, which you get early access to things and whatnot, like Vodka Stream guests, which I'm going to post about today, and then stuff I'm working on, all that stuff. And then the Film Chunky Closet. Check that out for the merchandise. All right, guys. Talk to you later.